When we think different, we feel different, and we will live different. I hope you're having a wonderful and fantastic day. For those of you who do not know, my name is Lawrence Harris. I'm a 19-year-old youth empowerment speaker, and for the last 4 years, I've specialized in helping teens and young adults build self love, confidence, and a positive outlook on life. In addition to speaking, I've also written books on it, and you can get a one on one consultation with me below, as well as if you are a podcast host or you have an organization, a school, a summer camp, or a speaking engagement of any sort, you can contact me below at my email address. Now, let's get into this presentation. This is a practice session for a speech I'll be giving on July 3rd virtually for the Boston, Massachusetts NAMI chapter. Think different, feel different, live different. Let's get into it. Firstly, let's define two terms: conscious thinking and subconscious thinking. Conscious thinking is what you're presently aware of. I'm reading this sentence in a book. The cat in the hat knows a lot about that. Subconscious thinking: everything you have ever thought, ever heard, ever smelled, taste, etc., but you're not actively aware of it at this moment. For example, you are currently not aware about the entire book before the cat in the hat knows a lot about that. There's an entire book before that, but you're focused on conscious thinking what's right here, right now. Now, what we consciously think about, this is what you're actually thinking. On one side, we have, the dark, sad circle. On the other side, we have the light, happy circle. Nobody likes me. Everyone's mean. I'm ugly. I'm stupid. Now, the X 60 to 80,000 a day is because you have about 60 to 80,000 thoughts per day. Now, obviously, for most people, not every single thought you ever have is going to be something bad about yourself. But if the majority is, imagine if, let's just say, 50,000, 50,000 times a day, without even thinking about it, you're telling yourself nobody likes you and everyone's mean and you're ugly and you're stupid. That's going to make you think really bad about yourself. On the other side, there are people who like me. Maybe not everyone does, but there are people like maybe mom, dad, friends, teachers, summer camp counselor. There are people who like me. There are nice people in the world. Not everybody is friendly. Not everybody is good to me. Not everybody is a positive role model, but there are some. We have to admit there are some of them. Now, I might not be winning a fashion model competition, but I have nice hair. I have nice eyes. I have nice teeth. Um, I'm handsome. I'm pretty. I'm not winning a runway model competition, but I'm not ugly. I'm smart. I'm not Isaac Newton or Albert Einstein or Stephen Hawking or Neil deGrasse Tyson, but I'm smart enough to pass high school. I'm smart enough to pass eighth grade. I'm smart enough to do my math homework. Now imagine you're saying that 40, 50, 60,000 times a day, right? The majority of one person's thoughts are bad. The majority of the other person's thoughts are good. So they think differently about themselves. Now your brain takes in everything, right? Your brain, the subconscious, has no filter. It takes everything in. So if you say 10,000 times, I am good, I'm good, I'm good, it's going to say, okay, okay, okay. But then right after, if you say, I'm bad, I'm ugly, I'm this, I'm that, it takes it in. It says, okay. It has no filter. It takes in everything. So your thoughts, actions, and environment are programming the subconscious. Because if you're saying good things about yourself, but you're also saying bad things about yourself, because everyone does. Everyone says, man, I wish I wouldn't have done that. Man, I made a mistake on my test. Man, I don't like this. Okay, everybody says bad things. But if the majority of what you're saying about yourself is bad, is going to lead to the subconscious soaking in, I'm so bad. That's what the subconscious is soaking in. Yeah, there's good stuff in there too, but if the majority is negative and you're actively saying bad things about yourself, it's telling your subconscious, your own brain, to think bad about yourself. And there was a study done by, I believe it was Harvard. 90 to 95% of your decisions are rooted in the subconscious. For example, people tie their shoes the same way, they eat at the same times of day, they use the bathroom at the same times of day. You do a lot of things the same way, the same time, without even thinking about it because it's your subconscious. Your brain has basically been programmed to say, okay, at this time we eat. At this time we go to the bathroom. When we get home, we do this without even thinking about it because you've done it so much that your brain has essentially been programmed to do that without you consciously thinking about it. Now, from those thoughts, from what you thought about yourself previously, here's the feeling it will trigger: feelings of worthlessness, feelings of unattractive, afraid to try new things. You see more bad than good in the world. Because there's good, there's bad in the world. But one person sees way more bad than good. On the other side, this person feels worthy. They feel attractive. They feel confident. They're willing to try new things. They see more good than bad in the world. Yeah, there's still bad things that happen. There's car crashes and tragedies and wars and all this crazy stuff. But one person sees a whole lot more bad, the other person sees a whole lot more good because their thoughts have programmed their brain to go out there and find that. Now, we don't want to feel bad, even if it means using unhealthy coping mechanisms. Here are some examples: vaping, drugs and alcohol, overeating, doom scrolling. So imagine you're on your phone scrolling on Instagram for like 3 hours straight, 4+ hours of video games a day. Now, of course, it's okay to, hang out with your friends, relax, have fun. But if it's 4 hours a day, every day, that's kind of a problem. Unless you're like a professional Twitch streamer or something, but most people aren't. Now, sex with random people. I understand, you might want to enjoy that physical intimacy and that pleasure, but a lot of people, typically, a lot of men do this. They use sex as a coping mechanism to essentially validate themselves and say, I'm so good, I'm so great, look at all these women I can get, rather than looking at the problem that they themselves are facing. There's also the risk of like teen pregnancies, STDs, whole lot of stuff. And the my logo right there blocked it out, but the bottom one said self-harm. So people hurting themselves in a variety of ways because you don't want to feel bad, and you see this thing that you know is bad for you, but it'll take the pain away. It'll numb you. It'll make you feel a bit better. Now, it's unhealthy. It's bad for you, but you want to feel better, and sometimes people will resort to bad ways of feeling better. So it's important that you understand that because it could help you to realize that maybe that bad habit you have is covering up something underneath the surface. So, with all of that known, with now that we got all that, what can we do to change how we think, to change how we feel, to then begin living in a way that is better? I put better in quotations there because my definition of a good life for me could be very different from a good life for you. For example, maybe you don't want to have really big muscles. So my kind of workout routines don't apply to you. Maybe you don't want to be an entrepreneur. So my entrepreneurship stuff doesn't apply to you. So when I put better in quotations, it's simply me saying a way that is better for you. I think we can all agree that there are certain habits that are not good for us. Like being blackout drunk on a Tuesday. That I think we can all agree that isn't good for us. But there are other things such as maybe I think playing 3 hours of video games is really bad for me, but for you, if that's how you and your friends connect with each other, y'all are Twitch streamers, that's good for you, bad for me. Step one, identify what thoughts are leading to bad feelings and bad actions. This is the part where I recommend you get a journal. Because when we journal, we can write things out, we can get clear. And some of the things you can journal about for however long you decide you want to. Do you say hurtful things about yourself? Like, yeah, you might make a mistake on a test and say, man, I wish I wouldn't have made that mistake. Man, I should have studied harder. That's normal. That's normal. But when I say hurtful things about yourself, are you saying things like I'm worthless? Nobody loves me. Things like that. Are you saying things of that sort? Are you watching a lot of negative content online? Is your bedroom dirty? It may seem a bit silly to point this out, but if your bedroom is dirty and you're not taking care of your environment, you're not taking care of the place where you spend 8 hours sleeping, more than likely, you're not going to be taking good care of your mind, body, and soul. So, is your bedroom dirty? If so, clean it. Do you listen to a lot of sad music? Because it's normal for people to find comfort in music they can relate to. Like if you're going through a hard time, a bad breakup, you're gonna put on some heartbreak music. You're gonna put on some like sad Drake songs or something. But on a regular day, are you just soaking in a lot of sad music, a lot of nobody loved me, heartbreak, men are cheating, my wife took the kids kind of music? If you're soaking in that, and this is just what you're feeding your mind over and over and over and over, like I mentioned previously, the subconscious mind is like a computer, and our thoughts, words, and actions are programming it. Step two, change how you speak about yourself, others, and your life. Because if you say, I'm so dumb, nobody loves me, your brain is like, okay, I'll give you evidence for that. It's called your reticular activating system. It's a part in your brain that sees everything that goes on and it filters it. And then it shows you what you tell it to show you. Because at every moment you're taking in like a billion different bytes worth of data. For those of you who don't know, a byte is just a unit of computer data. You may understand what a megabyte is, a gigabyte, things of that sort. It's a measure of computer data, and a byte is just a very small piece of computer information. Your brain is taking in a lot of information at every given moment, but it cannot process all of that. So instead, what it does is it processes only what is most important and what you have told it to find over and over. Because your words are telling it, okay, life is good, life is great. There are bad things in the world, but life is pretty good. I can find a way through this. So you'll see opportunities. You'll see job hiring. You will end up becoming more social because your brain has been programmed to go and find the good even throughout all the bad. So turn things like I'm dumb into I'll figure it out. Yeah, this math test is really hard. Yeah, this college exam is really challenging. Yeah, maybe I made a mistake and got fired. Okay, stuff happens. But instead of saying I'm so dumb, I'll figure this out. I'll figure out how to get better at studying. I'll figure out how to get better at showing up to work on time. I'll figure out how to cook better because I burnt the food. I will figure out a solution to this problem And when I figure out the solution, I will become smarter. That's a way you can reframe your words. Now, if you say nobody cares about me, well, if I care about myself, if I take good care of my health, my mind, my body, my spirit, whatever that means to you, that means somebody does care. I care about me. And because I care about me, that means people do care because I'm a person who cares about me. Begin surrounding yourself with more uplifting music, entertainment, etc. For example, if all you're watching is heartbreak music and heartbreak movies and Real Housewives of Atlanta and men are cheating on each other and loyalty tests and all of that sort, you're going to start to think that every single person in the world is a cheater and every single person in the world is a gold digger and every single person in the world are all these bad things because this is all you're surrounding yourself with. But if you surround yourself with happy marriage movies, happily ever after, happy love songs, you'll start to see that, oh, wait, there are good relationships in the world. They might be rare, but they exist. There are plenty of people who are happily married. There are plenty of people in loving relationships. There are plenty of people who are not cheaters and are not getting cheated on. It may be rare, it may be less common, but it exists. And because you know it exists, and you constantly remind yourself that happy relationships exist, you will be more inclined to socialize with people, and eventually, you too can end up in a happy relationship because you aren't approaching the world with the mindset of everybody's evil. Sit straight up, walk confidently. This is a very simple one, but I'm going to try and demonstrate it. So I want you to be in your chair and I want you to sit like this. Like slump your body down, slouch, look at the floor, dangle your arms. You're going to start to feel like depressed. You're going to start to feel weak. You're going to feel small. Now I want you to shoulders back, chest out, head up. You feel more confident this way. You feel strong. You feel upright. You feel ready. You feel like alert. That's one way that your body communicates to your brain. When your body is hurt, it communicates to the brain that we're in pain. It communicates we're in danger. It communicates something bad is going to happen. So if you slouch and you're small and you're weak and you're looking at the ground and you're hiding yourself, that body language tells your brain that there must be danger. But when you're sitting straight up, upright, confident, alert, ready to go, it signals to the brain that we are strong, we are safe, we are alert, we are aware of our surroundings. When you feel sad, go outside on a sunny day. Because if you're inside and it's dark and it's cold, you're like, what's even the point? Why keep trying? But if it's bright and sunny outside, 5 minute walk and it's sunny and the birds are chirping, you're like, you know what? I might be going through this problem in my life. I might have got kicked out of school. I may have been fired from a job. My girlfriend might have broke up with me. But at least the sun is shining. At least I'm able to see. At least I can breathe. At least I have all 10 fingers. You start to become more grateful for the little things in life. Step 3, remove negative influences, people, places, and things. So, take 5 minutes. I want you to pause this video and actually do this. Ask yourself who, where, and what is stopping me from achieving my goals and being proud of myself. Now that you're back, remove the easiest ones first, then work on the hard ones. For example, you may have a friend who's always saying something negative about you. Man, I don't like your hair. You're ugly. You're this. And some people are joking, like some people do make jokes like that, but if you don't want people to joke with you like that, and you don't want people to say things like that, if you tell them, hey, I don't want you to call me ugly, I don't want you to say it, and they're like, yeah, but I'm just joking. and you tell them, yeah, I know you're joking, but still, I don't want you to say it, but they continue to do it, stop being their friend. You can get new friends. However, if you have a family member who you live with, like you live with this person and you're 15 years old, so you can't really live anywhere else, you can't move with any family, and you can't go to a shelter, then I would recommend you can limit the amount of time you're around them as much as possible. Now, the easiest things, for example, let's say you have bad eating habits. Instead of going to McDonald's every day, try buying some cereal. Try making different changes. Instead of going to McDonald's every single day, how about you cut it down from 7 days a week to three? That's one way to remove a negative influence, which is a place. Removing bad friends is a people. And a thing could be the amount of TV you watch. For example, I used to spend a lot of time playing video games, like a lot. And what I had to do was I put my TV into the basement. For the last 2 years, I have not had a TV in my room. And what this has allowed me to do is remove the influence of over watching TV, like overly spending too much time, getting lazy, procrastinating by removing a thing. And yes, it will hurt when you remove people. It will hurt when you remove certain habits, certain vices, certain things that bring you comfort, but that's part of the pain of growth. Because if you want to get better, if you want to improve your health, you need to change up how you eat. If you want to improve your mental well being, you need to change up what you're saying about yourself. You need to change up what you do. You need to change up your music playlist. You need to change up what you're watching. Yes, it will be uncomfortable. Yes, it will be challenging. Yes, it'll be different, but it'll be worth it. Step four, take bold action. I put bold action in bold for a reason. Because when you want to go into that different world, you want to start thinking different, you want to start feeling different, you want to start living different, it's great for us to say it, it's great for us to think it, it's great for us to feel it, but we have to live it. And the way you live it is by taking action. Not just dipping your toes into the pool. No, bold action, confident action, going for it action. One thing I do is there's just a restaurant in my city called Ocean Prime. Very expensive seafood place. One time I went there and I ordered the cheapest thing on the menu just so I could like see the inside, so I could hear the music, see how the waiters treat people, what kind of people go to these restaurants, how do people dress. Like I wanted to feel the energy of the place. And what this allowed me to do was see a different side of the world in a way, like see a different side of restaurants. Because you might go to a restaurant in your city, like a really cheap place, and people are throwing stuff on the floor. There's babies crying. Um, the windows got are cracked. The waiters are rude. But when you go to a fancy place, when you go to somewhere like an Ocean Prime or a Ruth Chris or something like that, the staff are really nice to you. It's super clean. It smells good. The food is cooked warm. Everything's so high level. On purpose, obviously. They do that for a reason. But when you order the cheapest thing, because you might not have enough money for a $50 steak or a $200 ribeye or $300 crabs and lobster tails. But if they have $18 garlic biscuits or a $10 whatever, order that, because it's not about what you buy there, it's about being in the energy, it's about seeing it, it's about placing yourself in a new higher level environment so that you can begin to absorb those thoughts and absorb the energy of that place. Now let's say you don't have money for this. Like, let's say you don't have $20, 30, 40, $50 for whatever you need to do. You can go to an area of the city you've never seen. You could ride your bike there. You could catch a bus. You could catch a train there. And you can like look around and be like, okay, I'm used to the dirty area of the city. I'm used to crime. I'm used to people like glass bottles shattered on the floor and there are needles everywhere. But in this area of the city, I don't see that. In this area of the city, yeah, there might be trash. Yeah, there might be um, dirty clothes and stuff around, but it's better. It's cleaner here. It's nicer here. So now you've seen a new environment. You have like felt it. You've seen the trees. You see the kids playing outside. You see the bigger houses. You see the nice cars. It's about putting yourself around the energy of these things. Because when you can see it and you imagine up here, like you've seen the car, you can imagine yourself driving the car. You can feel the engine. You hear the roar. You are in the car mentally. So now you're thinking different, you're feeling different, and because you're feeling different, you start living different. Do something that pushes you out of your comfort zone. For example, you might be a really shy, introverted person. So every day, go find a random stranger, like on the bus, the train, walking down the street, the Wawa, Starbucks, wherever, and tell them, I like your hair. They're going to say, oh, thank you. And you're going to say, have a good day. Or maybe you say, my name is Michael. My name is Sarah. What is your name? And they'll say their name, and you might make a new friend. You might end up dating that person. Who knows? You might even get married to them. But because you're stepping outside your comfort zone, eventually this will become comfortable to you. Because a lot of the things that are uncomfortable, a lot of things that are outside of our comfort zone, it's just different. We're just not used to it. It's hard because we haven't done it enough for it to become easy. If I ask you, what is 5 plus 5, you'll say 10. Easy question. Comfortable question. Normal question. Regular. But if I say to a 2-year-old, what is 5 plus 5, they won't know because it's outside their comfort zone. It's hard to them because they haven't done enough math for it to become easy to them. Now, remove the people, places, and things that you are clinging to. You know what is good for you. You know what is bad for you. And the things that are bad for you, but you don't want to give them up, you're going to start making an argument about keeping them alive. No, 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 no. You don't understand. This is helping me. No, you don't understand. You don't understand. But you do. You know what's good for you. You know what's bad for you. You know what places you need to stop going to. You know what people you need to stop being around. You just have to be honest enough with yourself to admit it. And then you have to be bold enough to take the action needed to remove it. Now, here are my best methods for you to create that lasting change in how you think, what will create a lasting change in how you feel, what will create a lasting change in how you live. Journaling, self awareness. You can communicate your emotions. That'll be really important when you're upset and somebody says, why are you upset? I don't know I'm upset, but I'm upset. Journaling is going to help you to figure out why you're so upset and clearly communicate it to other people. It's also going to help with communication skills in other ways because you'll be able to better understand yourself. Journaling gives you a way to vent without any possibility of judgment. You write anything down. The book doesn't judge you. It's just there. The journal has no opinion. It's just there. The journal isn't biased. The journal isn't going to tell anybody on you. It's just there. It gives you a safe space. And after a year, you can look back and see what you were going through. For example, on March 12th, 2023, you can see what were you thinking about? What were you going through? What did you write about? How were you feeling? You can do that with a journal. Exercise. A healthy body and healthy mind are connected. No, I'm not saying to become a bodybuilder. No, I'm not saying you need a 5-inch waist. I'm simply saying that exercise, like maybe you go run, or you go swim, or you go for a jog, or weightlifting, or anything of that sort, it's been proven to create happy hormones in your brain, like dopamine, serotonin, endorphins. It makes you more motivated, helps with confidence. You can also socialize with people because, hey man, what kind of workout are you doing? Oh, how long have you been going to the gym? Oh my God, girl, I love those shorts. Where'd you get them? You can make friends like that. You become more confident as well. It also gives really good stress relief because sometimes you don't want to talk about what you're going through. Sometimes you don't want to journal about it. Sometimes you don't want to meditate. Sometimes you don't want to do anything but just let that anger out. Those weights allow you to do that. A boxing gym allow you to do that. A martial art like karate practice or whatever allowed you to do that. A hobby you can do by yourself. It's a healthy way to relax, build a skill, and you can make friends with people who are interested in that thing. Because a lot of times people say, okay, what do you like to do for fun? Oh, I hang out with my friends. I go to the movie with my friends. I do XYZ with my friends. But what do you do with you? When it's just you by yourself, what do you do? What do you like? What hobbies are you into? What kind of movie do you like? What kind of music do you like? What kind of outdoor activities do you like? What kind of video games do you like? Not what you and your friends like, not what you and your family like. What do you like? Because you have to have a good relationship with yourself in order to ultimately have a good relationship with the people around you. So, journaling, get those feelings out. Talk about it. Write it out. The book doesn't judge you. Exercise, stress relief, confidence, socializing, and it also helps you to just feel better. Hobby, better connection with yourself. Maybe that hobby is also going to build a skill. Like if your hobby happens to be woodworking, that's a career. That's a carpenter. If your hobby just happens to be making 3D airplanes, that's called engineering. That is a career. If your hobby just so come happens to be fishing, that is a career. You can sell fish. You can be like an offshore fisherman. You can feed people. That's a really important skill to have, especially for people like if you look at rural communities, like people who live in Indonesia and the coast of Asia and the coast of India, people who live in like coastal areas, Hawaii is a really good example too. Fishing is not only a really important hobby for them, but it's also a way of life. It's how they get their food. So, on that note, I hope that you all have had a wonderful, lovely presentation. Again, this was a practice session, so I'm looking forward to doing the actual real thing on July 3rd at 6:30 Eastern Standard Time, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you would like to register for that, the link will be in the description. It'll be available through Zoom. Now, that QR code there is where you can leave me a testimonial. It'll go to a site that I use where it allowed me to collect testimonials as well as feedback from the audience. This video will be on YouTube, obviously, as well as TikTok and Instagram. So if you enjoyed, let me know. If there was any ways I could have improved, also feel free to let me know and keep in touch with me. Have a wonderful, blessed day. And on the final note, in the links below, not only can you find the link to register for the July 3rd event, as well as my links to buy my books, one-on-one consultations, and if you happen to be a podcast host, a event planner, school principal, anyone who has business opportunities, my email address is in the description. Have a blessed one.